Hi everybody, my name is Paul Oxley. I'm the Vicar of St Marks, where we run St Marks Meals, which I've been asked to speak to you about for a couple of minutes this afternoon. St Marks Meals has been running for nearly 2 years now, and the aim is that no child should ever need to go to bed hungry. There are over 11,000 children in the city who are trapped in poverty, and for many of them, not all of them, but for many of them, they know what it feels like to go to bed hungry because they haven't eaten since the free school meal they got at lunchtime. The way St Mark's Meals works is that there are store cupboards in schools across the city where any member of staff who discovers that a child or a family is struggling to eat can simply walk them down the corridor to that store cupboard. They can choose what they would like to take home from a selection of recipes, and they get a box with all of the food in that they need to cook that recipe for dinner tonight, and an instruction card, a recipe card, and they can come back tomorrow if they need to, and the next day, and the next day, because it's never your fault when you're sick. Whatever the reasons that your family is struggling, it's just not your fault. At the start of the pandemic, we were working with 25 schools across Milton Keynes. We're now working with 52 and rising schools, children's centres, family centres, and other community partners to ensure that there are a whole bunch of hubs across the city. We now work in partnership with more people. We work closer with the food bank. We have greater relationships with other charities so that we're able to help families access more multi-agency support when they need it, because if you're struggling for food, you might also be struggling for other things, and so being able to signpost is important. The level of need is rising. Our level of responding to that will rise. We anticipate that will continue whilst lockdown that we're in at the moment continues, but then after, as we emerge, there is, as many people have said, an increasing diversion between those who have and who are able to supply their family with food and the basics, and those who don't have and who aren't able and who don't have the means at their disposal. Togetherness is so important to us. We couldn't do what we do without working with others. We rely on school staff to be able to give these food boxes to people, to families, to children when they need it. We rely on head teachers and pastoral assistants and lunchtime assistants and teachers. We rely on the food bank who help us out with a load of food. We rely on local shops who help us with other food. We rely on other agencies who ring us up sometimes and say, can we work together to support this family? We rely on volunteers across Milton Keynes. We rely on the togetherness of people contributing and donating. So to us, togetherness is the only way that we can solve any of the problems that we face, because all the problems are way too big for one of us. And so working together gives us hope that we might be able to build a better future. Thanks so much for listening.